This video is sponsored by Babel.
All right, everybody, today is another exciting day because, not just because of what's in this pile, but a few members from the National Trust, that's right, the National Trust, they are arriving today. They're gonna have a tour of the house, but they're here to look at the AI that Luke and I put together to bring Alberta, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, and the American Heiress back to life. So, I'm gonna give them a tour of the exhibition, but what's really fascinating, and I wanna somehow incorporate this in there, is that I received the most wonderful, wonderful letter from somebody in Northumberland, and her father and mother worked at Hinchingbrook, and they were, let me just get this right, her father was a footman at Hinchingbrook, and her mother, Lily, was sent to Hinchingbrook as an under stillroom maid. They both worked with Alberta and George, and she has sent me some of the letters that Alberta wrote to her mother. They stayed in touch. So one of the letters here, and I'm going to show you a picture of Lily, is here's the letter. They've given me some copies. You can see it's at Hinchingbrook. It's June 30th, 1942. And this is Alberta's writing, and she says, "Of course I remember you very well. I had a letter from our Henderson last week who told me of your engagement. I gave the letter to his lordship to answer. It's very nice to hear from you again. We have given Hinchingbrook to the Red Cross," so this is during the Second World War, 1942, "until a year after the war ends. It is now a hospital for 120 beds for patients and a staff of 30. The happiest place you ever saw." So I think that's absolutely lovely that they stayed in touch. And it's just wonderful for me, to always see her handwriting. But she was just a wonderful, wonderful person. And in fact, over there on the board, Alberta and George, during the Second World War, they're standing in front of Hinchingbrook with sandbags. They were protecting actually the stained glass, and because Hinchingbrook has wonderful stained glass. But here also you can see the ballroom where the patients were treated during the Second World War. It was a Red Cross convalescent hospital tending to over 5,500 patients until its closure in 1945. So what I want to be able to do is just bring this letter out and into the exhibition and probably put it into something like this, just another thing to look at. And in fact, I'll stick it in that cupboard there. So I just need to go get one of these. And I think that's the letter. But here also is, she sent pictures. This is so lovely. She sent some photographs that her mother had, Hinchingbrook staff between 1938 and 1940. So again, over the war. And there's Hinchingbrook. That's her father, Reginald Henderson. He was the footman. Look at it, it says footman. That's Flossie, the head stillroom maid. And again, left is her father. And here's Lily, here we go. Here's Lily, her mother, age 16. Here is her mother there, Lily. So great to see even photos. So now I can, in fact, here, I think in here, she sent some lovely, I mean, they're great, right? Here we go, here's Lily. Look at Lily at Hinchingbrook. In her uniform, ready to enter service at Hinchingbrook, 1937, as an under stillroom maid. Stillroom maid was a female servant who works in the stillroom, which is a functional room in a great house. She made preserves, including pickled eggs and vegetables, dried fruit, dried herbs and flowers, spice preparations, chutneys, marmalades and jams, beverages such as tea, bottled drinks and beer, and perfumes, candles, and home remedies. She also prepared and served afternoon tea, not just the beverages, but sandwiches and cakes. I want to be a stillroom maid. Oh my goodness. So, and she reports to both, the stillroom maid reported to both the housekeeper and the cook. It was a high status role. Incredible. Oh, wouldn't that have been lovely? That's what she did, how lovely. And the other thing I just want to point out is, Lily and Reginald's daughter is planning a trip to Mapperton later this month to see the exhibition. So, and then she wrote, how I wish my parents were still alive. They would have loved your videos. So that's, I'm going to incorporate in here later. The other thing, I just picked up mail. I have just received these books. I found them on like eBay or something. Gilded Prostitution, Status, Money, and Transatlantic Marriages. This is going to be great for my dissertation. It's getting there, everybody. My dissertation is getting there. So that is a book that I needed, and another book, English Landed Society in the 19th Century. So I needed this one as well. I found them both sort of at, that was obviously a library book. Where was that? University of Salford. There we go. And anyway, let's take this to the other room because I need to open up this box and I need to find a frame for this.
This video is sponsored by Babel.
Questo appartamento è centralissimo e ben collegato.
Questo appartamento è centralissimo e ben collegato.
Just doing a quick lesson, everybody, with Babel, one of the top language learning apps in the entire world. The public have just left. We have 2 days to get ready for when the public arrives again. And I end up going from room to room to make sure everything's okay. But I also, it gives me an opportunity to sort of like hide away and do a quick lesson in Italian. So Babel, as I said, is one of the top language learning apps in the entire world. And I'm now confident in speaking the Italian language every single time I visit my little Italian house in Italy. And as we step into summer travels, I really think that now is the best time to solidify your commitment to learning a new language. And I do understand firsthand that tackling something new can be challenging, particularly when it comes to learning a new language. But if you've experienced sort of waning motivation in the past, fear not, because Babel is here to support you. So they boast expertly crafted lessons, captivating games, immersive podcasts, and even live classes. I promise you, Babel is designed meticulously to empower you in having meaningful, real-world conversations. Matteo ha trovato qualcosa perfetto per me. And if I can make such huge progress, I'm now a B2 level, that's intermediate, I'm confident that you can as well. So click the link in the description down below or scan the QR code to get 60% off of your subscription because it is one of the best things I've ever done. Learning a new language has not only given me the confidence in speaking the language, but it's also given me self-confidence within. So do comment down below and let me know what language you want to learn and why. Do sign up with Babel. Promise you, best thing I've ever done. But I need a big table, everybody, to put this box on now. It's very exciting. And then I can head into the muniment room and put my books in there. So it's all happening. This, one of you kindly pointed me in the right direction. So many of you watch our YouTube videos and we're always keen on bringing back part of the collection if we can and where we can that was lost, especially after the Second World War. Luke's grandfather not only sold the family ancestral seat due to economic depression, but also sold a lot of the contents. One of you pointed me out to an auction that was happening in New York, and I was successful. I have to be super careful here. I was successful. No one else bid on this. I always put the lowest bid in, and I think you're going to be excited to see what treasure we've brought back into the house. Many layers. Let's just talk about the many layers. Box. Then it was another box, or whatever, a flat pack sort of cardboard, and then another flat pack sort of cardboard. Then there was plastic, around that. And then within those, there was another. And now we have it, everybody. So we have, this is what I was successful in. Okay. Quite excited because I'm not sure I necessarily remember. I mean, I know what it has to do with. It has to do with the 4th Earl. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. So these were clearly sold or... oh, wow. Okay, that is a lovely engraving. I don't even think we've got one one that Luke gave me upstairs. It's hanging in, I think, one of the bathrooms upstairs. He gave it to me for my birthday a couple years ago. But this one is really lovely. Then we have a lovely engraving of the 4th Earl. And I'm just looking, I think it's all around I think it's all around 1767. So it says, from the original picture in the possession of the Lords of the Admiralty. So this picture was done, and it's a Gainsborough. And we used to have that picture in the family, but again, it was sold. But I'll take this lovely engraving. I think it's really nice. So that's a Gainsborough. And then look at this. Whoa, quite exciting. Ooh. Okay, it has on the back, I better be super careful here. So it has GR, so that would be for King George III is what I'm going to guess here. That means George Rex. Rex is Latin for king. And he was king during the 4th Earl. Oh my gosh. During the 4th Earl's time, you can see George R. Yes, I was right. George III, by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, defender of the faith, etc., etc. And it looks like it says, you are therefore carefully and diligently to discharge the duty of 2nd lieutenant by exercising and well disciplining both the inferior officers. Anyway, it looks like they were, it says, the beloved, somebody named James Robinson, they appointed him to 2nd lieutenant. So the 4th Earl of Sandwich, John Montagu, was head of the Admiralty. And this is an appointment to 2nd lieutenant, but it was signed by the head of the Admiralty at the time, which would have been Sandwich. So you've got, you have the 4th Earl's signature there. This is actually amazing that we got this back. This is going to go right back into the muniment room. And then you can see it was James Robinson became 2nd lieutenant and signed by Sandwich as well as George R. There is King George's signature, which is fantastic that I got this back. Oh my goodness. It's very exciting. I'm going to send a picture of that to my father-in-law. And then lastly, oh, let's turn that around. So it looks like this is another engraving of Captain Cook's voyages. So the 4th Earl of Sandwich sponsored Captain Cook, and he, explored and somewhat rediscovered, I should say, many islands. But if we look here, this is what's very exciting. So look a little bit closer, everybody, and you can see chart of the Sandwich Isles. Now, if this looks familiar to anybody, comment down below, because the Sandwich Isles are present-day Hawaii. So it looks like this would have been the main island, Hawaii, that we know it there, and then you sort of have Maui, Oahu here. Isn't that amazing just to see that? And he basically documents it. This is, and it says accurately engraved. This is incredible. So I'm going to send that to my father-in-law as well. And also within the muniment room, where I do all of my archiving and research for my dissertation and bookbinding and paper restoration, but also scrapbooking. So anytime Luke and I are in press, I make sure that it gets cut out and then put it into a scrapbook. And we were recently in there. We were in the Times on Saturday, the 20th of July, Britain's poshest holiday lets, £10,000 a night. And it was it's in the magazine. Here is the magazine, and there we are. So if anybody fancies a stay in a stately, we are on Airbnb. That is not us. We are from £2,750 per night, roughly about £200 per person if you take all of the bedrooms. And it was a lovely article. There we are again, fantastic. It was really a lovely article. And it says here, until then, Mapperton had always been a rather private place, Luke says, voted the nation's finest manor house in 2006. All that changed. It does say partly to Montagu's wife, Julie Fisher. That's my maiden name, everybody. And but also it says that we started Mapperton Live, which relays in exhaustive detail even the most banal aspects of life in a stately, from cleaning the swimming pool to the canceling of her ladyship's yoga classes so they can focus on house tours. But they have built a loyal fan base. And yeah, and then Luke's quoted as saying, because we have this successful YouTube channel, we've been looking at ways to encourage some of those viewers to come and see Mapperton for themselves. And you can now stay here. There we are. So this is my special place that we're heading into. There's actually 3 entrances to, if you've never seen this before, those of you who are new, to the muniment room. One is through the dining room. And this is where we do all of our archiving, and an entrance through the church and an entrance into the passageway to the back. I'm gonna sit here and do some more archiving, tidy things up, organize, put things away, and work on my dissertation. But first I need to go get a cup of tea through this door. This is the West Room, everybody. We haven't really featured this very much in our episodes, probably because it's now become a storeroom. The house may be large, but because so much of the house is open to the public, we don't have a space actually to store things that we might use. We might use at some point. In particular, this picture. I'm going to hang the first Earl's mother later today. This is a lovely 17th century bed. It probably should be on display. It will be one day. We have lovely Meissen china there, but it's a bit of again, a room where we now store furniture. Those tapestries, I'm going to be restoring those in September. That's going to be a whole video. Yes, that's coming. But in the meantime, I have not gotten around to until today making sure that I'm labeling these. Most of them are these 18th century dresses. So what I've done is I've taken photos of all of them in their boxes. Now I need to figure out what boxes they're in. And I'm going to put them, that was just like a belt almost. I'm going to put them, label them by using the photos. So that is my plan. So anybody who then wants to look at these lovely dresses, or we've got a tunic here, we've got the, where is that? Oh yeah, we have the Jacobean apron that the Royal School of Needlework has used a motif from. And I've got these little, I'm going to put them in so that they're protected. The question is going to be, how am I going to find them? And then this has sticky stuff on the back. And I think I've measured them correctly. I have more, I guess, more clothing that I'd like to put in the textile boxes. In particular, the 8th Earl of Sandwich's sort of waistcoats and some shoes, and his velvet kind of military coat, his hat. But I need to order some more textile boxes. So I'm gonna put these together, and then we're gonna start to move out these pictures. So today I'm gonna hang Paulina Peeps. Look at that, I've done that the wrong way. Hang Paulina Peeps, and I'm gonna finally get this done, everybody. All right, they're in their envelopes, and let's pull out the first box. Because actually in some of them, there are a couple pieces. So this one's easy. This one is gorgeous, isn't it? So again, there are some stains that you see here, and some discoloring has happened within the silk. But as far as the vibrant color of the embroidery, it's actually in really good condition considering this is a Georgian dress. I am going to have somebody come from Bath and look at, in particular, the Georgian dresses. But for now, let's keep them stored. So that's, what is that one? That is, here we go. That's this one, matches nicely. Super happy with that. And, oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this. So that is the box. So when somebody comes, they will know that this is this dress. Oh gosh, it works kind of just about right, perfectly. So that is that dress. Next up, what do we have here? Ooh, this is, for those of you who wanted to, oh yes, now, this is very exciting. Yeah, I'm happy with this. There's a couple pieces in here. So this is the Jacobean, you can see there's a crease there. I might fix that. Creases are what cause tears. And I know many of you are saying she doesn't have gloves on. Remember, a lot of times if you have gloves on, you can't feel, and that causes more of a rip in the material. But you can see what I'm trying to do here. There are some rips here, and very, very gentle ones. This is going to come out again when the Royal School of Needlework comes here for their embroidery class. They've created the most amazing kit, and they've used this flower here as the motif. They've taken that and created the most incredible kit. It's sold out now. It's the 20th of September, and I think there are several people coming from, do let me know if it's one of you, coming from America, staying in one of our holiday cottages, and are flying over just for this embroidery workshop, which is beyond exciting. I'm going to be here as well, so I'll get to meet everybody. But I'm going to give everybody, when the Royal School of Needlework comes, and the students, I'm going to be giving everybody a tour of the house and then showing them the Jacobean apron. So in here with the Jacobean apron, I have, what do I have? I just realized I forgot to print out one dress, and that's this dress here, everybody. So you remember it was this lovely velvet. I'm gonna open it up so you can see it, but I've got to go print that out and make a label. I don't have it in my labels. So this is why you do this. So you can see underneath here, this is the dress I'm talking about. In fact, I need to fold that over. It's always good to come in and check. So you can see that lace needs to come over here. I might put, it's really hard to get them right. I'm gonna put another piece there, and then I'll box this back up and I'll remember. I'll go back and print another one. But you can never have enough acid-free tissue paper. That is for sure. So what I want to do is I just quite want to move that into here, just underneath here. There we go. And spread out that lace. Try to keep that like that. Yeah. All right, happy with that. I think that's those are the two in there. Ooh, now I've messed up there we go. Okay. Just make sure that's all good. Make sure that this silk ribbon is in a good space. All right, happy, happy, happy. All right, one more, and then I'm literally gonna go quick. But this, again, has some damage, has lots of stains, and this is something that I'm gonna have somebody that I've been put in contact with from Bath to come and look at these Georgian dresses. This one I'm reasonably pleased. That one needs to be out a little bit with how it's been packaged up by myself. So, I mean, they are just beautiful dresses, but they do need a little bit of, just a little bit of cleaning, to be honest, and maybe a small bits of repair, but I don't think that much. All right, finished that. Super happy. So now we have Paulina Pepys. This is a big painting for me to take, but I'm gonna do it. I know where she's going. She is big. And I'm gonna hang her first. Let's see. Yep, okay. She's ready, okay. Be super careful, everybody. Oh. We might have cameraman help me, but I'm gonna get it out of the door first. This is Thomas Crew. He's gonna go in the corridor, the entrance hall with, I think, his relatives, but he was the brother of Jemima Crew, who became the first Countess of Sandwich. She married Edward Montagu. There we go. So I'm gonna take him off carefully. Am I right?
I think you're good.
Okay. Now. And I'm just going to place him here. Hold on, carefully. Pretty clean, actually. I was looking to see if he needed a good clean. So out here is, nope, not a relation, not a Crew relation, but this one definitely is, I believe, another brother. So this is my father-in-law, John, but this is a Paul Maz picture. We have lots of Mazes. Paul Maz was friends with George, the 9th Earl of Sandwich, who married Alberta, the American Heiress, and who I'm subject of my dissertation. But what's really interesting about Paul Maz is we have actually a lot of his pictures, not so much on display, but in the corridors here in the private part of the house. He taught Winston Churchill how to paint. We have lots of letters from Paul Maz to George in the archives. Okay, so I think I've got to go up. There we go. So I think I know where this is going to go, but probably not on display. I'm gonna put another brother there, and I'll figure out where this lovely Maz is going to go. So let's get Thomas Crew in. All right, he's up and at the right height this time. I am so happy right now, everybody. I am so happy, beyond happy. Okay, the time lapse did not show A, how heavy she is, B, how difficult it was to get the nails out that were here beforehand. So luckily, Chris, behind the camera, used his muscles, got that out. And this is actually, I'm super pleased. This works well in this room. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, so what I need to do now, because we have tours starting again, we do tours here in the house from Sunday to Thursday. Today is not a Sunday or a Thursday, so there's no tours in, but I need to write to all of the tour guides and give them a brief history of Paulina Pepys, which I will do. And so now she is in the same room with her son over there, Edward. So that's all very exciting for her and for him, and her daughter-in-law, Jemima, the first Countess of Sandwich. So they're kind of like all back together. All right, one more room to do, the drawing room. finished for today. I have a couple pictures that need to go back up into my storage room. But what I've done here is I've taken the Hogarth, which is a wonderful painting by Hogarth of Edward Montagu, who was the son of the 4th Earl of Sandwich, but he died when he was aged 8. So unfortunately, just a little bit of history, the 4th Earl of Sandwich married a lovely lady named Dorothy Fane. She became the 4th Countess of Sandwich, but she lost so many children, I think possibly 5 in total, at a very young age, that she ended up sort of spending the rest of her life kind of in bed. I think she was very depressed and upset by that, and I can understand that. So, but this is a wonderful Hogarth portrait of the Honorable Edward Montagu, and sadly he only lived till aged 8, but I thought it'd be nice to put him in the drawing room with his father, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, right there, the one that invented the snack. All right, I'm gonna go back up to the West Room now and put these pictures away that were once hanging here and figure out where they should go one day.
Be sure to click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get 60% off of your Babel subscription.